on. Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock them. There we go.
Welcome to Pure Chaos on a Friday night. Bengals and Brews. Bengals on the brain. Bills on the brain. Derek's still white.
Yes.
What's up,
white,
everybody?
White AF.
He's what?
As usual.
He's white. He's very white. Pasty.
Hey, I'm working on my tan a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
You're just covering your body.
I've realized at this point the only way to get tan is for me to color it in. So
whatever works. Why are you wearing sunglasses inside?
Right.
Because
You and Greg both.
Sun never sets on a badass.
Yeah.
But I got this
Probably
light
because
up here, man, that's blinding me, so that's why I wear them.
It's probably that ring light reflecting off of that fucking skin, man.
Josh,
It'll burn your
That's
retinas.
100% what it is.
It'll burn your retinas.
Listen, that ring light is a son of a bitch, though.
Yellow translucent lenses. He looks like Tony Stark. Up
Mine's like sideways. Like I don't even care about it.
It makes
I
your
look like
eyes so
Tony
nice,
Stark.
though.
Get closer. Let's see those eyes.
Those are nice. Hey,
Oh,
there you
nice.
go.
Oh, wait,
There's a
look
nice
at
one.
him. Look at him.
It looks like Mr. Beast.
yeah, it kind of does. It does.
Is that what it was? Was like leftover Beast bobbleheads?
Yeah,
Fucking
they
slapped
just
the Bengals on the brain logo on the
a
shirt.
little coating and a hat on this
Right.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You gotta
It
love
was
it.
like they got it on Storage Wars. Like they fucking opened up the locker and it was packed full of those bobbleheads from the Beast.
No,
It's
those
a-
were,
What do with all
those were
these?
custom joints, but they didn't scan my head like it was Madden or anything. They should have.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah, I was gonna say it's the Wish version of Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Basically, what you're saying is 100% what they do for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Basically. It's
They're
basically
a
in the Hall of Fame.
meticulous process. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, guys? We should probably talk a little football before
Does-
Pure
does-
Chaos.
Spring break start for your kids today, guys? Is
Mine
Next
was
week,
a couple weeks ago.
next Friday.
what? Really? All right.
Our
This
starts
Yeah,
guy's
and I
on
great,
didn't even
right?
know anything about it. We didn't go on vacation or nothing. I was just like, oh, great.
George,
I got to pay for a babysitter.
You're cutting out, Glenn.
Joe, are your kids off next week?
Yeah, next 2 weeks.
Damn, my kids
Damn.
are only off the following week. They got to go to school next week.
Guys get 2 weeks off up there?
Hey, man.
Well, that's
We're
nice.
off next Friday and then 3 days the following week. So
Nice.
not near.
I only
2
got one
weeks.
kid left in school, man. I'm an old fucker.
Well, I am the kid left in school. Well, my kids are also in school,
Well,
but
that's
it's more
true.
important for me. I like the days off.
Yeah. Right. I would also enjoy a day off,
Yeah.
except I'm not in school.
But you know what I would enjoy? Midwest Best Barbecue, 50 West Beer, proud sponsors of the show. Get them both.
Well done, Greg. Way to
Yeah,
slide
good job,
that in
Greg.
there.
Just waiting for the right time.
You
That's
picked
what we
Midwest
got
beer.
Greg for.
Shout out.
Shout out. We could say no free sponsorships because, well, they actually sponsor us.
They do.
Yep.
That works.
Right.
All right, man. So
All right.
football. Let's start with you, Glenn. Looking all sexy over there, drinking your
Isn't he?
tequila.
Yeah, I got
Derek-
some. tequila.
Derek's already having internet problems. Imagine that.
As per usual.
I feel a little dim. You guys, your ring lights are bright. I turned mine down.
All right. Who replaces Gabe Davis? You guys signed Curtis Samuel. Are you excited for him? Bigger role for Khalil Shakir.
Yeah,
How are you feeling about your wide receivers right now?
I think this is a good evolutionary sort of situation for Khalil Shakir. Gabe Davis will be missed. You know, they called him Big Game Gabe for a reason. You know, am I coming through all right? You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Shakir really turned it on a bit last year. You know, he sort of started blossoming into his own, especially as Diggs's production at the end of the season there and into the playoffs really, you know, started trailing out a little bit. Shakir looked good in that Steelers game. You know, he made some plays against the Chiefs. I think he's going to step up a bit. I think Samuel's going to step up and sort of give them a little more, you know, that production they might be losing with Gabe. Gabe had a lot of touchdowns. He was a touchdown getter, I guess. I don't know. But and I hope they draft a wide receiver in the first round this year.
There you go. Here's a question related to that. Disc golf dad here. You think they'll go maybe Xavier Worley, A.D. Mitchell, who you kind of liking early on?
Yeah, I mean, this first round is sort of littered with potential wide receivers, and especially with the Bills up at 28, they're not going to have, that there's still going to be some quality there, I think, at 28. And like last year's draft, when those receivers started getting plucked up there in the top of that first round, I'd be happy with, those two names, either one of them, honestly. And I'm fine with, somebody coming in and maybe hopefully that first round pick, and he's starting that sort of being groomed to Diggs' successor. Diggs he's 30, and at some point he'll be 32, and hopefully this first round receiver, whoever the Bills take, if they do, can be that guy that steps into that role.
I love it. And Joe, I want to start out with a draft question for you. I know you're a big Jerzon Johnny Newton fan.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you don't know if the Bengals are going to take them, and you posted something the other day about a top 5, but that top 5, to clarify, was your thoughts of who the Bengals might take, not your own personal top 5, correct?
That's correct. And Newton wasn't in there, is what you're alluding to. And if I had to make up to 10, then I'd put him in there. But I don't know that he is in the top 5.
Okay. Just what do you like about Newton? Because I've got my own love for Newton. He's been, really on the radar since last season when he led interior guys in pressures for the season. So it was a guy that I was like, okay. And then this season he wasn't necessarily as productive, but he's still a stud. He's a beast on that D-line.
Yeah, so Johnny Newton is the defensive tackle, 3-tech type pass rusher penetrator from Illinois. He's in the Geno Atkins body mold, the short, squatty, barely 300-pound type guys. And he's got the short arms and things. Same things you'll hear for Byron Murphy, to be honest with you. We like Byron Murphy as well out of Texas. But with Newton, I think you have a cleaner evaluation. I think you got a guy that definitely played the 3 and the 4. He's going to play what he is going to play in the NFL. You get to see him unleash like 4 or 5 different moves that he feels comfortable with and win in a variety of different ways, winning with speed, winning with power, agility, winning with technique and leverage and just intelligence. I think he's a complete player. I think he's good against the run as well. It's not an issue there. The only thing is he's had a quiet draft season. He hurt his foot and he played through it, and he had to have surgery on it after the season concluded. So he wasn't able to partake in the scouting combine or the Senior Bowl. I think both would have been big for him. And we didn't get to have it. And then instead, we're going to hopefully see him at a private workout or his own individual workout in April when he's healthy and cleared to do so. And even so, unless he tests absolutely great, I think the buzz has probably cooled off on him that we won't see him in the top 15 again. And that's where he started in January. Or maybe he does light it up and some team looks at the same thing I looked at and say, hey, you got a young guy that's an athlete, and I think he's an elite athlete when he's healthy, that has 97th percentile production, and that should go normally in the top 15 picks. And I don't think he will, so I'm hoping he's on the short list for the Bengals at 18.
Yeah, I would love it. Greg, I know you're the serious guy here, so you've got to have a good question for these guys. Like, you got a question for each of them you want to ask?
Yeah, Glenn. So Bengals new running back Zach Moss played for the Bills for 2022. Yeah. What can you say about Zach Moss with his time in Buffalo?
So there was a lot of buzz around Zach Moss, a potential sort of banger type running back, and
banger. I hardly know her.
Oh. Yeah, banger. He never really sort of came to fruition on what Bills fans were hoping that he would become. He was sort of, I guess, underachieving in some respect, and they end up trading him. But, he was just sort of a flash in the pan here, and, just never really developed. And when he was traded, it just was like, okay, well, he's gone. All right, on to the next. And injuries and things like that, he just – that's something I would worry about a little bit. And but I mean, he just wasn't much here in Buffalo, honestly. I do remember a lot of games with him, but he went to Indy and then he was pretty forgetful.
Now, do you think it was more of a scheme fit issue in Buffalo, or what do you think exactly, or was it just the injuries?
I think the injuries for sure sort of derailed him. It could be a scheme fit thing, but Buffalo is a rushing team. Although,
Yeah.
they've had some players, and even Cook last year. They lead the league top 10 typically in rushing yards, and he just couldn't stay on the field really for them. And
he got beat out by Singletary. I think that was part of it. And then they drafted James Cook, so it was like, it is what it is.
Who I really like, by the way.
Oh
yeah. Cook's been fun watching his development, and I'm excited to see him in this upcoming year.
Joe, so clearly one big question left before the draft is, what do we do with D-tackle with DJ Reader gone? Tar came in for a visit. I hear one story that it was because of his attitude. The other, I hear it's money. Other than that, I don't know what they're going to do. Do you think they will go into the draft with these DTs, or do you think they try to make a trade or do something before the draft?
I think they're going to continue to look at nose tackles and look for a guy that can fill that role for them. I just think the role is diminished now. Clearly, they're going with Sheldon Rankins and BJ Hill as their two defensive tackles, and you can do that. I think we have lost a little bit of our mind here looking for nose tackles when you don't have to have a nose tackle, and you don't have to have one on every single play. And even the Bengals, when they had
Reader, draft Johnny Newton.
There you go.
And even when they had Reader, they're only doing it about 20% of the time, and it's mostly in games where you're going against the Ravens and the Browns, so maybe you just need it in the division. And then now with the Steelers getting Arthur Smith, they're going to have 3 tight ends out there, and they're going to be pounding the ball, and you're probably going to want a nose tackle. So I assume they want one, and they're going to keep exploring it, and whether that's in free agency, there's really nothing left. You're going to get maybe Josh Tupou back as a reserve guy. But I do think they're going to make a priority in the draft to draft one. I think this is a year where they could take 2 defensive tackles. Yeah. And let's say that's Newton in the first round. And then I don't know if it's Tavondre Sweat in the second, if you go back to back, but maybe McKinley Jackson in the third or fourth round, and maybe guys even later, because that seems to be where they're coming from, is day 3 picks, shot in the dark development guys, because it's not a position too many teams in college even play. So you're just taking guys and seeing if you can develop them into that position in the long run. But as of now, what does that mean for their defense? It means you're going with Rankins and Hill, and you're going to say we're not going to have a nose tackle out there, and we're going to play more 4-3 type, 4-2 nickel type defense and an even front, and that's okay. A lot of teams do that.
All right, I got a question to kind of follow up on Tyler Bowles here. He's wanting to know that's the wrong one. He's wanting to know what you think about Cade Stover in the third round.
Same fucking sunglasses you're trying to wear.
Right, yeah.
He did ask about pizza, though.
Yeah, he did ask about pizza, so we'll definitely get to that one as well.
Oh, you just had to bring this back up. I mean, Joe already got my Twitter mentions going crazy.
So my thought is, I noticed last year, it seems like whatever round you think the value is at tight end, it seems like the Bengals are usually a round later on those guys. So that would be, in my opinion, they're probably looking at Cade Stover in like the 4th round. So what's a good tight end for them? And then what round do you think they would probably look to go after one?
So there's 4 guys you want in this draft class. And after that, you're talking about lottery tickets. So 4 guys that have a really good shot. And that's obviously Brock Bowers in the 1st round. Will he be there? There's a chance. I think there's a chance that he could be there. And do we pull that trigger in round 1 and go that direction? We'll see. But round 2, I don't know if there's a guy. I think if there is a guy, it's Ben Sinnott out of Kansas State, and he's got the production.
How you not gonna like Sanders?
What about Sanders?
Hang on, I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
They don't want to watch the hot dog get made here. They just want to.
Yeah, right.
Sinnott
has the next best profile in terms of production, athleticism, film, doing everything that you would want from a tight end position of a guy who could start early in his career. Jatavion Sanders is next, and he probably is a 2nd rounder as well. Maybe he should go in the 3rd. I think he's in that range maybe of where Musgrave and Kraft went last year, where it's like, all right, maybe we don't like him at 49, right? But you're not going to get him in the 3rd round. So do you make that decision and pull that trigger a little bit early? These are decisions they have to make, and it's part of the reason they've struggled to find the tight end at the correct value, because I think they're going a little bit before they should. And then the last guy that you should target is Jaheim Bell out of Florida State. And we're talking about a guy who is shorter, but does everything you need, a move tight end, and he could do a bunch of college use check stuff as like a fullback, H-back type. But his production numbers, athleticism, everything is off the charts. Those are the 4 guys you should target. After that, and Gene Bell's probably going in the 4th round, to be honest with you. Yeah. After that, the other guys, whether it's Theo Johnson or Jared Wiley or Cade Stover, I mean, there's a lot of them. But they're all in the lottery ticket, let's see category, where some of them are better than others. But what I'm saying is 4th to 7th round, you don't prioritize any of them because there's going to be 8 of them that go between the 4th and the 7th round, and you just let it roll with whoever's there. If one's there, if not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't kill your team if you don't get one of those guys. But of the top 4, you can target them, maybe reach a little bit and make sure you get one.
Okay. And
I'm talking gaps on our spreadsheet between those guys are in the 80s and the next guy's a 70.6 in Cade Stover.
Okay. And could you see a potential, like, let's just say everything goes perfect, them extending Gesicki after this year, or do you think he's kind of getting close to that age range where they don't really like to play in those waters?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what happens in the draft, right? If you land Bowers, then that's pretty much going to do it there, and you'll move forward with him being number 1. I also think Gesicki's going to do a lot of slot receiver stuff. So, there could be a chance he has a huge year and he prices himself out, or he sees it as a great fit and wants to continue, and the Bengals go with like a 2-year deal moving forward. There's a lot of scenarios, but if they don't get a guy in, and it's probably not the first 2 rounds for tight end, I don't expect it. So if we're talking 3rd, 4th round for a tight end, then you are still probably in the same situation next year where it's like, we got this guy. We kind of like him. We didn't see him play over Drew Sample or Tanner Hudson even. Maybe we only saw him for 100 snaps or so if everyone's healthy. And that leaves you in a situation where, you may want to keep your veterans.
Pork Chop, say something smart.
So I wanted to ask. So I was watching your breakdowns last night, and this was like even pre-Brian Callahan going to the Titans, the one on Johnny Newton. So because I'm like torn on this thing. I'm a Johnny Newton guy, but I want to see.
Damn, Glenn, that was
like
a good
the
drink.
hype is Murphy.
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry. Glenn just took a hell of a drink of that tequila. I was proud of him.
The ice not make noise, and you finally got chops to say something smart.
I know, man. I fucking interrupted.
Hey, don't give me credit. I'm not done saying it. It might not be smart. I appreciate paying it forward, though. But anyway, Joe, my question is, like, it seems like the hype with the Bengals is all around Murphy. I'm not hearing any hype around Newton. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Rapine at the Cincy Hat at the St. Taddie's Day, and he was telling me that he doesn't hear anything about Newton with the Bengals. So I went and watched.
I don't hear anything about Newton with anyone, though. So
When I watched your breakdown, I like Newton better. Which one would you pick if they're both there at 18, and why?
Yeah, so we still have Newton needs a test still. I prefer to draft guys that have tested and have complete profiles in the first round, give you every bit of information, and you can choose from the guys with the greatest chances of having a Pro Bowl or a successful career. There is numbers behind these things, and we can at least use that to help point us in the right direction. So if he doesn't test in April, or if he tests poorly, well, then that's going to help make our decision on if he should be the 18th pick. If he tests like an elite athlete, I'm talking he's going to end up as a top 10 player on our board. So, and not Bengals, I'm talking about me. It'll be hard for me to make an argument against him. What? Making whoopee.
Making whoopee.
Is that sweet?
Nice.
This is a
dessert
stout
beer.
Imperial milk stout.
Those are good.
Joe, why don't you have a beer? Yell at your
I
kid
do.
to bring you.
I do.
Okay.
This is called the Big Ditch
You that big ditch.
Sleigh Burner. This is from Christmas because I've only had like 2 beers since then. So
what do you drink? What is it called, Joe? Which
Sleigh Burner?
Oh,
Big Ditch.
that's a
big bitch.
I want to finish though. I want to talk about Murphy because Byron Murphy is good. I love Johnny Newton, but Byron Murphy is a really good prospect.
Very
Talking about a
good.
guy that
Very
was 20
good.
years old and is when you're watching him, he's playing nose tackle at 300, barely 300. He's probably 290 when you're watching him. So he shouldn't be playing nose, but maybe he can do that. Maybe he can do some of that in the NFL. Grady Jarrett's not much bigger. He's played a lot of nose in his career. Maybe the Bengals value that and say, hey, Sheldon Rankins, Byron Murphy, and BJ Hill, whoa, we're now athletic on the inside when we haven't been for years. So there's an advantage to that. And his pass rush productivity on true pass sets, meaning like it's third down, don't worry about playing nose and taking on a double team. Go get the quarterback. His pass rush productivity on those downs are through the roof. And then his run stop rate, because he is taking on these double teams and doing the best he can. He gets worked in some of these games, like Iowa State throws him out of the club 4 or 5 times on double teams.
Yeah.
He's not big enough, but it shows that he's tough enough and can do it and is willing to do it. So there's value in there. He's a very good prospect. He's just not as clean of a player as Johnny Newton is.
Now,
I mean,
we will
Zach
be all
Taylor
over.
went down to their pro day too, so
Right.
and
Well, they
Zach
got a
Taylor
lot of
doesn't
guys
go to a
on
lot
there.
of pro days, huh?
Texas is full of players.
Yeah. The receivers. The
I'll take
running
3
back,
of them, man. I'll take
D tackles.
Sweat,
Jatavion
Murphy,
Sanders,
and Sanders.
tight end.
the right tackle.
I'll take that wide receiver too.
Just give us the whole Texas Longhorn team.
Let's go.
I mean, if that was your draft, we would take that. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, there was one mock I like early on. I took like 4 straight Texas players. It was like I'm not even.
I took
Longhorn
3
fan.
on one of them.
So here's a question, but I will say this podcast will go off the rails. It always does. It'll go off the rails. We'll get back on. It's a roller coaster, baby. You're here for the ride. That's what we do.
Exactly.
So do you think the Bengals are out on JPJ? What's your thoughts on Jackson Powers Johnson? I'm a big fan.
Me too.
I kind of hope he goes off the board because I don't want him going 20 to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Feels like that's where he'll go, right?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Oh, did you say the Steelers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I think he's going to.
Pick 20. It's just like that seems it's like lines up with right where I have him ranked.
You know,
basically.
that's when I'm doing the mock drafts and stuff, I'm thinking like maybe that's not the guy I exactly want, but if it's between them, I'm like, I don't want Pittsburgh or Baltimore taking them.
But you
we
can't
can't
build your
worry
team
about
like
that,
that.
though.
Yeah,
I know,
you can't.
I know.
You
The
can't
2
build-
times we worried about it, the Steelers ended up with Devin Bush, and we ended up with William Jackson. It's
true.
like, let's just stop worrying about what these other teams are doing.
when they
Yeah.
traded up for Mason
Yeah.
Rudolph the 1 year right in front
Right.
of us too, and I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, it hurt us
I don't
last
think we
year. but
were,
who ga-
but
yeah, who gave a shit?
Yeah.
But Jackson Powers Johnson's good if we want to be serious for a minute. I mean, the guy is powerful, aggressive, nasty, moves well enough for a guy that's 330 at center, which you don't find those guys. Like, he can hold up against nose tackles. So, you know, I'm in on Jackson Powers Johnson if the elite tackles are gone and you're like, fuck it, I'll take a Pro Bowl interior offensive lineman.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And I
especially
do-
now, right? He would start at left guard. And like, think of your 5
Yeah.
offensive linemen
Yeah.
next year.
Stacked. You feel
Yeah.
you feel better
Boner.
about the depth. You feel better about everything if you
Yes.
do add a guy like that. So
Yeah.
not ruling him out, but probably going to be an offensive tackle. I want to switch gears before we get to offensive tackles, and I want to ask Glenn if he's went to that Ghostbusters premiere yet.
Oh man.
When is that?
Yeah. I was in New York City last week.
It was last week.
Yeah, well, it opens this weekend. I was out there at the world premiere with, you know, all the stars and producers.
Because
shot
you're one
over
of
here.
them. Yeah.
Flex. Do we still have that Flex video?
where's that?
Hold
Yeah.
on. I
Where's
heard
it at?
that too.
Hold on.
Oh my God,
Rewind.
it's been a while. Still got it. Still in the tape.
Damn,
Yeah.
fucking
Nice.
black. But it was a good time. You know, it was fun. I liked it. It's just Joe and I we're taking our families on Sunday to go see it together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like it. Did you guys see that there's a new Beetlejuice coming out as well?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
the
the
trailer.
trailer a little bit ago.
Trailer was good.
What? I
Yeah,
didn't
that-
see the
The
trailer.
trailer was fun.
It was just like a teaser trailer, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Short.
Daylight come and
And
we
another,
wanna go home.
Happy Gilmore. Another Happy Gilmore's coming out.
Well, is that true? Is that
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just Adam Sandler still trying to be relevant.
It was broke on
I think it's called
Twitter by D.
Sappy
Coldest.
Gilmore?
What?
No.
I said it has to happen. I
Cut out.
read it. It was broke on Twitter by D. Coldest. You know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, I do. Before we go crazy, I do want to ask one question because I'm sure
Before we
we've got 1,000 people watching right now. I'm sure some of them are Bills
2009,
Mafia.
Derek. God
They're
damn
out
it.
there throwing dildos, doing some crazy shit. But what are the Bills going to do at 28?
We already talked about that, Derek, when you're in.
Right.
Was that when my
Have
internet
wide
was having
receiver,
issues?
once wide receiver.
Piece of
Hey,
shit.
Wide
this is
receiver.
why I didn't ask anything to Paul Daner because I knew I would just ask something stupid.
Well, we didn't ask that fully.
We
No.
can leave Eric's question because I want him to take a wide receiver. They could take a wide receiver, but they could also hit the panic button and do something on the defensive side of the
Well,
ball.
what about
Johnny
corner?
Newton.
Don't you need a corner?
What's that?
Well, you need corner, secondary in general.
That's what I was saying. Like the defensive side of the ball, they like a heavy rotation on the defensive line. I think they could still go that direction. I think they could go corner, even though they really do trust the young guys that they have. I kind of trust too. But was that you, Joe? Were you going to say something?
Yeah, D end. I think it'd still go.
That's what I mean. That's where I could see them going is D end. And I would say, I would be fine with it. Honestly, I'm just kind of riding this wave this year. I think their biggest hump is situational execution and planning, but I just feel like, I do think that they're going to go wide receiver. That's where I think they're going, but they could go corner, safety, or DN.
I forgot I had a story for you guys.
Is this about driving around in the car?
Yeah, that's similar. Yeah, it's about that.
And you were naked, right?
No, not this time.
Oh.
So I'm driving home from work today, and it's just a straight 4-mile shot down one road, right? I'm driving, and a city cop goes by me with his lights on, and I'm like, all right. And then a state trooper goes by me with his lights on. I'm like, what the fuck? And then we've got a bridge that goes over to an island, Glenn, to Grand Island Bridge. So I'm going on Buffalo Ave, and I see like 4 cops right at the entrance to the bridge. And now we've got another highway called the Robert Moses that loops around and goes onto the bridge as well. And the cop runs out, throws a spike strip down. And I'm like, oh, shit. Right. So I stop about 30 feet away from the red light because I'm like, I don't even want to be close to these people. And I'm the first car up. And I'm like, that car is not going to drive over the spike strip is what I'm thinking. He's going to turn and run it and drive into our lane. So I'm going to stay back. And here he comes, starts Tokyo drifting through the grass. It's snow on out today too. So it's icy. And we lock eyes as he's going straight in front of me, just like Tokyo Drift in slow motion. And I'm trying to get my phone out, right? And he's going, and he's starting to slide right at me. And his wheels catch about 3 feet from the car and into the other lane. And I was like, he almost took me out, man.
Damn.
I was like, I told my son, he's like, you should have drove and like smashed into him and stopped him and be a hero. I'm like, yeah, be a hero. He gets out with a gun. Who knows what this guy's doing?
Yeah. Like it was enough to lock eyes and have this.
He said,
story.
"This is New York you're talking about."
Yeah. So, Joe,
driving that fancy ass Mercedes like on your show.
That is not my Mercedes. It's First Star's Mercedes.
Yeah, he's got a Lambo. Who we can?
Right.
Jan's working late tonight. They're doing a blitz in the city. Actually.
Ask her then. Ask her. These dudes.
He already was texting me earlier that there was a chase tonight. So you're probably talking about that.
They almost got me, man. I almost got a new car out of it.
Law enforcement here in the city, and it can get a little bit crazy around here. And
I wonder what they were running from. Did it say that in the story?
The police.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, dumbass.
See, there I go, man. I told you, Glenn gave me fucking credit early.
What's up, Bourbon? What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, what hat are you wearing? I see you down there. What is that, a black version?
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I not wearing a black version?
Because he wanted blue.
Hey, copyright fucking infringement right there, goddammit.
Yeah.
That logo's bigger too.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. I found out the hard way it was too long of a run. So this is my trial one.
I had a request today for a black hat. Actually, I might need to put my order in with you. He's been making my hats lately. In case you guys didn't know, he's doing a stellar job.
What about
red?
I
got like 20 more of these black ones.
Red doesn't sell, Chops. I've got red hats in the basement for a year right now on my shelves. My inventory.
For real? What's
hey, I'll take care of one for you.
What's your favorite uni combo
of the Bills?
Yeah,
I like them in all white. But I
like the old school Buffalo helmet.
Those Virgin Whites, man.
But I love their current home uniform. Their blue top, white pants, white helmet. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it does look good. I mean, it doesn't look as good as fucking orange, white, and black. Those combinations.
I was gonna say it doesn't look quite as good as white on white on white.
Look,
White Tiger.
Bengals territory right now, but honestly, I love the Bengals uniforms. I mean, growing up with Joe, I told you guys, I got Bengals jerseys in the basement. I got Joe's hats. I like the orange and black. I'm a sucker for orange and black sneakers. I just do it. That's it.
Halloween's
good.
your time of year. We knew that already.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started buying shoes too. Like
What
I
do you
caught
got?
the bug. What I got some Jordan 1s. But everything's for a certain outfit. Like if I go see FC Cincinnati, I got Jordan
You're
1.
fucking in it, man. Yeah.
That's
I
it.
got
Never getting
I got shoes to go to the Reds games. I got shoes for the Bengals games. And then
Yeah.
I got I purposely got a pair of shoes that didn't match any team so I could have something to wear out. Because when I go out and I look at the shoes, I'm like, what am I going to wear? And I'm like, I can't wear that. Those are my LSU shoes.
No, you're,
You know? So I had to get a pair that I could just wear out.
the next is the
Dude,
sock.
my favorite ones are the LeBron 8s. Those I got the Lakers LeBron 8s. Dude, those are fucking sweet.
LeBron 8.
Yeah.
You got him next to you, don't you? He wasn't on the Lakers before the 8. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Yeah. Those. Oh, yeah. He wore those for his media day, I believe. Those are the
I'm telling you, man, it's my favorite one.
LeBron 8 media days.
Yeah.
Get my shoes off. Got the low dunk. So I got.
What do we got?
Pretty
Let me
sure
show-
my wife thinks they all cost about
Let me
$30 a pair.
Right now. I got Ghostbuster Reeboks.
Nice.
Ghostbuster logo. They got a little slime on the bottom.
Where do you
Is
get them?
that the one I
StockX?
sent you? Is that the one I tagged you on Twitter the other day, or are those new ones that are supposed to come out?
Yeah, those are different ones that you tagged me in. These ones came out 3 years
Oh, those
ago.
are Ninja Turtles. Yeah, those are Ninja Turtles. I forgot.
Yeah, the turtle sold out
dumbass.
so fast. They had Ghostbuster Timberlands that sold out fast. The turtle ones went quick. It's a tough market out there for sneakers right now.
Just go on. I mean, you'll have to pay for more, but if you go to StockX, they'll have them on there.
Yeah, I know. I watch a few pair on there, but I can't stand. Yeah, secondary market kills it. Like I've kind of always been in the sneakers, and then I started making I can buy sneaker money, and then I can buy sneakers. They start going fucking crazy, and then they're on StockX for crazy money.
Yes, they
Just
are.
like bourbon. It's just
Darth-
like bourbon.
Yes, I want a Ghostbuster chain. I see that comment up there. I would pay you for one if you hit me up. I would definitely take one of those.
Be a
chains
good
up.
donation, Glenn.
That's what I was about
There
to
you
say.
go.
He would probably do it in exchange
Project
for a
Game Day.
We
donation
can
to
switch
Project
out
Game
hats
Day.
here. Here we go. The
There
hat
it
switch.
is.
Yeah, whatever works. Hit me up. I can
Man,
get you my address, and I can do whatever you.
Oh yeah,
need.
there's his.
I put
Yeah,
the chain up here.
Yeah, Darth
Nice.
posted earlier. He saw it.
What chain you got up there,
Okay.
Joe?
That's Darth. He made the chain for me. It's the Bengal hat. I
Oh,
just-
Shout out
hang on
Darth,
for the
man. He's
center.
been
Yeah,
killing it.
hey, look, he will do
Alright.
custom. I got him to do this one custom for me.
Oh shit!
My
That's pretty
grandson's autistic, so he made this one for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Darth's the man. He's made. Yeah, I was gonna say Bengals and Bruised ones, like all kinds of shit, man.
I see
it's
him.
unbelievable.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, you should
You
get
know,
him to do a Bills
that's pretty-
Buffalo on the Brain one for you.
There you go.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when he's done with this run, we're gonna have to send his printer to like on a beach vacation or something because
Listen.
that printer's working non-fucking stop, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever have him on
Chinese
here,
sweatshop in there.
but that's someone who also 3D prints and works with resin. He does a great job.
Yes.
So that resin is crystal clear on the top, and that is not easy to do. He's got to be
Yeah.
degassing it and everything.
Yeah.
Dale's degassing right now. He's got to
Yeah,
be.
he is.
That's true.
No, I'm just jerking off.
You see, don't worry, he's not he's
Listening.
just jerking off. He does this.
I'm staring at you guys, but you know
He's relieving himself one way or the other. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. My wife said we weren't going for a three-peat tonight, so fuck, I figure I'll get it some way.
Three-peat. I don't even get that till I go on a cruise, man.
I would just like listen.
Glenn just came back from a cruise.
I gotta
looking
tell
for-
you, for real, fuck all y'all. I'd like just an annual. Just a fucking annual.
Hey, just go
Hey,
see your proctologist.
you-
You'll be all right.
Take the
There you
U out
go.
of annual, chops.
What'd you say?
Take the U out of annual. I know that's what you like.
I'll take it. Are you offering?
An annulment.
You said
No.
you haven't had wings in like 2 fucking weeks, man. I'll buy you some chicken wings. Let's go.
Oh Lord.
Buffalo on the Brain is a fire show.
Hey, we appreciate that. We love our
Something rolling.
Goodberry shows. Especially I saw show number 69. Nice.
Oh yeah, very nice
was,
show.
just uploaded.
If everyone that comments nice on the bottom of that tweet, I'll follow them back.
Man, I was going to follow or I was going to comment that, and then I saw there was already like 30 of them. I'm like, damn.
Listen, it helps get the exposure out there, so I made sure to put the episode number in that tweet.
That's right.
True.
Oh yeah,
That's true. I'll comment nice just for.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bengals on the brain, 69.
It's at episode 69. So we got a little clip of Tim Crumry to start that episode.
I saw you posted an hour ago.
Yeah. I debuted at 6 p.m. so we can do the show at 7 p.m. today.
There you go. That's perfect.
Moving for you guys.
That's pretty good math.
Damn, Chop.
Chop is sincere, too.
Yeah, he's like, that blew my mind.
He's like, damn.
Well, I got the fucking Twisted Tea out, man. So
Okay.
that's my fault.
No Four Loko.
Twisted Tea's always good in case you want to get drunk and you want to get in a fight.
Yeah.
Just whoop someone's ass with it.
No
And
Four
it's
Loko.
tea, so you got to drink it with your pinky out.
No Four Loko today, Chop.
Man.
No, I forgot to put it in the fridge. You say I got to have my dick out there?
I said the pinky out. I'm
That's
sure
what
the
I
dick's
said.
already out.
It is out. That's true. Well, when I got my new Corey Dillon jersey, I just thought that's all I should wear today. I'm like Donald Duck in it.
There you go.
No pants.
Right.
All right, back to football. So offensive tackles for the draft.
Yeah, are you like toilet right now? What do you?
Nah, I'm ripping a heater.
yeah.
I do this all the time on the shows now. I just turn the camera off and rip heaters.
Right.
It's my
It's about every 2 minutes.
it's my thing now.
He pops back on for 2 minutes and then back off.
The picture of you, like at least it'll look like you're still there. You know?
Oh,
Well,
here's a great
all
question.
of us, because we all have access to it, so it's constantly getting changed. At one point, it was shirtless Greg. It's just different.
Yeah, shirtless Greg was the best.
I never know what it's going to be when I go off camera.
So our guy Huday Joe with the super chat, thank you, sir. And shout out Joe. He's got a pretty sweet tat he's working on.
Oh, yeah?
Of course, knowing Joe, it's all lovey-dovey and all that
Probably so.
shit.
That's
But
why he still gets laid.
That's 100% why.
Yeah.
But Joe's wanting to know, pick a dark horse candidate for pick 18.
What do we consider dark horse then? Should it be someone that hasn't been mocked to them or something like that? Like, what are we thinking?
Like,
Brian
let's-
Thomas.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would probably be a dark horse. That I could see. Like, let's go with a Dax Hill, Jesse Bates situation where they tag Jesse right and they go, all right, we're going safety first round. And it worked out that way. I don't think they necessarily wanted to. I think if George Karlaftis was there, they made
Oh, don't give me
decision. I'm
George.
sorry. I'm just saying. All right. So maybe if Brian Thomas, I think Brian Thomas, you don't find too many 6'3" guys running a 4.3. And if he's there at 18, it could be a thing. And then I think to unlock Jamar Chase, they need to get him in the slot a little bit more and start getting some free targets out of that. And if you do take Thomas, I mean, man, Chase in the slot, Thomas and Higgins on the outside. Let's go with maybe the best offensive line they've had in the Burrow era. I mean, I could sell myself on that very quickly. I was going to say like extreme off the wall dark horse. First thing that popped in my mind is like, we have to take a nose tackle to Vontae Sweat in round 1.
All Chopper was I could sell myself.
No. I heard Brian Thomas Jr. That's what the fuck I heard. I'm
You
telling
think
you,
that would
that's
be
what
like
I'm
a
saying,
massive
man.
reach?
I love T. Higgins. Don't get me wrong, but if they turn T. Higgins into a trade where we got Brian Thomas Jr. in a trade and got rid of that money and had Brian Thomas Jr. matching up on a rookie contract with Jamar Chase for the next 4 or 5 years, come the fuck on, man. Please. Brian Thomas Jr. can be T. Higgins and more.
You know another team I could see going after Brian Thomas? The Bills. In a
I
trade
know.
up.
I've seen him mocked there before.
The Bills trade up all the time too. They did for Elam. They did for Kincaid.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
much.
wouldn't feel bad about that because I still like the Bills. It's not my team, but I like the Bills. You know what
Is
I
it
mean?
because of
So I wouldn't
Glenn?
feel bad if he went there.
100% because of Glenn. 100%.
I think there's a Bills Bengals thing regardless. I mean, with the two teams getting good together recently and Eli Apple. I mean, obviously there was some shit.
Eli Apple. we may have to turn back to Eli
We
Apple.
might still end up with Eli Apple on this.
we
team.
still
Where
might
did that
get him.
he'd be sitting there like Thanos throwing up a rock, a stone.
And the
Where
fact
did
that
that bring you?
the Bills don't match up well against the Bengals at all, and we're fucking frustrated. Like, what the fuck, man? Why can't we beat the Bengals? But this year we don't have to play the regular season. So that could be fun again. We can get our shit back. But the Damar Hamlin shit, obviously, there's always weird shit. Bills, Bengals. So
don't be surprised if Eli Apple comes back on this team.
Yeah, that's exactly like
surprise me.
He really could. He knows the scheme, right? He's been in it.
It wouldn't be.
Joe's got me thinking though. Also, what if it's a D end again? Right? Would that be absolutely crazy? What if it's someone that can kick inside and rush from inside too? If it like Demarcus Robinson or like Pork Chop from Penn State or Jared Verse from Florida State, right? I mean, I do think there is potential there that a really good DN is still available, and they're like, can we not take a defensive end? Isn't there like a rule you always draft defensive ends if one's there? I mean, so yeah,
well, that's what happened last year with Murphy, isn't it? Like they didn't expect him to be there, and that's why they grabbed him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't think Darius Robinson's worth the 18th pick. But that could be like a dark horse, wild candidate. 290 plays edge. You can put him inside. Right. You can do everything with him. I think that was a really good name to toss out because no one talks about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's that pick going to be like last year where we pick 18, where everybody was like so surprised by it, but it actually turned out to be a decent pick.
Oh, is this when we're supposed to read your mind again?
No, I'm just saying. What
we
would
all
you
thought
guys?
it would be Michael Mayer, and it wasn't.
Yeah. What's something like if I guess if Newton was there and then they ended up taking a cornerback or something.
Right. So like someone we maybe glossed over and ended up being really good, like Laporta. We probably mentioned Laporta in round 2. He's not going to be there, and we just kind of kept the conversation going, right?
Yeah.
Like who would that be? It'd probably be Newton if they pass over him. I could see it being a lot of offensive linemen. JPJ we talked about. Troy Fautanu from Washington, if they're like, yeah, he's a guard, so they're not going to take him there if that's the case. I think there's a lot of guys that we could definitely look back on in a couple years and go, we were too busy looking at tackles, D tackles, and we didn't look at whatever position this is. We didn't look at corner hard enough. And now, Quinyon Mitchell's tremendous or whatever. The DNs maybe are tremendous.
Yeah, well.
How surprised would you be, Joe, if it was JPJ?
Yeah, I'd be shocked. I don't think I'd put him on the list of 10 guys I expect them to draft.
Yeah.
I would like it. I wouldn't be against it at all. I think it'd give them 5
I wouldn't be mad.
Starting offensive linemen.
Hey, Joe.
You guys want to ask this question. What if it's just hypothetical? You got Latham, Mims, Newton, and Murphy sitting at 18. What do you think they do?
I think that's tough. Because Latham hasn't worked out, didn't test, but I don't know if they care. They've taken guys how many years that don't test, and they'll say the film's good, the production numbers are good. Well, that's what I would say. The profile other than not testing is really good, and there's a lot of truth to that. But Mims also represents a high upside. Like this guy typically goes top 12. If Olafashano and Talipuaga weren't in this class, we'd be talking about Mims at 8, 9, 10, 11, right? And instead, he's getting pushed down a little bit. And I don't think, had he played another year and started the whole year at Georgia, there'd be no chance you'd get him at 18, right? If he was this good, continued for a full season, you don't get him. He goes top 6 every time. So I could see them looking at that like, hey, like you don't get the opportunity to draft these type of dudes at 18. These guys go top 8. Just take him. But I could also see there seems to be a lot of, whether it's Malik or James Rapine or anyone you listen to, it seems like Murphy is a legit candidate at 18, Byron Murphy. And I don't know that I hear that for the offensive linemen at all, other than they all should be good and should be worthy of the pick. You kind of hear Murphy's name a little bit more.
Hey, Joe, you brought up Dax Hill earlier. What's the plan for Dax Hill? I mean, I know that Hilton's on the last year of his deal. Are they just going to let Dax Hill take over for Hilton when he leaves? Or do you think he could be a trade candidate possibly?
I looked at trades for safeties and former high picks at safety. They don't get anything out there in the market. You get like a 7th round pick. Is that worth it? I'd rather just keep him because I think he outplayed what the perception is. He outplayed being buried on the depth chart, to be honest with you, if that's what's happening this offseason. I think they're going to, at the very least, he's going to be Trey Flowers, cover tight ends and man, and come in and do that stuff, 50 positions. He'll back up the slot corner. He may, as of right now, they don't have a fourth corner. He may be the fourth corner on the outside, the boundary backup guy. So there's still an avenue for him to get 300, 350, 400 snaps if everyone stays healthy, which sucks because he was a first-round pick. He's young. He had a great profile coming out, and they tried to make him something he wasn't, gave him 1 year to do it with no veteran help around him, and said, that's it. You're not that guy. We're going to keep it moving. And that is a bad process completely.
Like a John Ross.
Glenn. So this is a little bit of both. It's Bills and Bengals. Tre'Davious White, I'm pretty sure still out there. He hasn't signed. What do you think he has anything left in the tank? Because I'm thinking Bengals a little bit for who they could bring in, and he was just released by the Bills. I know he's had some injuries, this, that, and the other, and hasn't really been the same player lately. Right. But I don't have the age off the top of my head. But just what do you think about him as a player and what he might have left?
I think, emotionally, we love Tre'Davious White in Buffalo. Like, I want him to retire a Bill. The injuries are unfortunate because he had so much potential. When he was healthy, he was good. But that's the thing. Like, you got to stay healthy. The Bills, in a salary cap crunch this year, they're basically the opposite of what the Bengals were when it comes to salary cap. And he just ended up being a casualty to that. And it's an emotional loss, but also his contribution over the last couple of years has sort of been nil. The injuries, and I think even coming into this year, a team that signs him, he may be limited this year in some respect.
Yeah. First year after an Achilles, man, that's not a great time.
Right. Maybe, you sign him in anticipation of he can contribute on the second half in a playoff run.
Right.
But I think also that's why he's not signed yet. He's been, seeing teams and talking to teams. As of this week, 2 weeks after the Bills got him is when he started. And I still think there's a little bit of that there. Teams are reluctant. I don't know, maybe, obviously he's going to land somewhere, but I think it's going to be in a situation, where you're not really expecting much of him this first half of the year. You want him to really get in tune with the team, November, playing in December and making a playoff run. And then you give him a 1 year contract, and then maybe he can perform enough so he can get a couple after that next offseason.
He just needs to take the Aaron Rodgers, mentality. Training.
Man, Robert out here talking dirty to us.
These Achilles injuries, man, are just crazy. Even you see the turf things, and then you see the Super Bowl injury, and that was on grass. I don't know, it's wild.
That last comment be interesting to put up the mock draft. Do the Bills and the Bengals mock draft.
Is Dale possibly working on this right now?
Probably.
No, I wasn't.
He's 100% working on it right now, Derek.
Joe, I got another question. It might have been asked by the guys before I jumped on. With us having 10 picks, do you see us trying to do our traditional trade up into the second round with our 2/3?
Yeah, I can see it. It depends on what they do in the first round, right? If they don't take a tackle, an offensive tackle in the first round, I could see it definitely playing out like, all right, we've got 3 guys here in round 2 we really like, and as they start rolling, they get aggressive and go up. So, I do think having 10 picks, I think 10 players could make this roster. I think this is a great time to lose Trey Hill and Jackson Carman and Deontay Smith, right? You could spend 3 offensive line picks and replace those guys easily. I think you can spend 1 at running back or 2 at running back. But to be honest, would you mind it if it was Zach Moss, Chase Brown, and 2 rookies, right? A third or fourth round pick and then like a 6th or 7th round pick to replace Chris Evans. I could see a wide receiver pick, a tight end pick. I could see 2 defensive tackle picks. I could see a linebacker pick for the depth. I could see a corner pick. And then punter. I think we get to 10 real easily, and they can all make the team.
Yeah. I love how, that gif of the guy doing the peace sign just fading into nothingness. That's Chris Evans on the Bengals right now.
Hey, Joe, when you say they're like, hey, I got these 3 tackles that I like in the second round. Who are those 3 tackles, in your opinion, that would be good at pick 49?
So we're looking at Kingsley Sumatea and Roger Rosengarten, and I would probably say Patrick Paul as well. Those are the 3 you'll hear. All are different prospects, and Sumatea is the youngest guy and has probably the most upside, athleticism, size. Or Patrick Paul is already a little bit older, only has played the left side, has the athleticism, but when you watch him, he loses in a lot of ways. There's a lot of fans of Patrick Paul out there, and I think the reason he goes in round 2, while he's probably got some upside for sure, like the profile is pretty strong. But when you watch him, you're like, man, all right, you lost to the bull rush. Then you lost to a chop move, and then a swim move, and then it's like, why are you? Well, none of these are correctable mistakes. You just keep losing in different ways, and that's usually not a good sign for a guy. But maybe he gets better coaching and figures it out, and it makes sense. We look back and go, yeah, he's got the size, he's got the athleticism. His numbers, like you use PFF production numbers, you're like, yeah, everything says he should be a capable starter in the NFL. So that makes a lot of sense. The late riser, it seems to be, is Roger Rosengarten from Washington, who is younger, is tall and big, and has the athleticism enough. He's your typical second round guy and maybe he goes in the third because he originally was projected like 4th, 5th round. But maybe he goes in the second round. And if that's the guy that's left at 49, you haven't taken one, I think he can be a starting right tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, I like Rosengarten a lot. I'll say another name, even though I, once again, think that's probably more of a 3rd round guy. But Blake Fisher from Notre Dame, who's only like 20 years old, would be maybe one more name just to mention.
I kind of feel like it took, unless there's a really super good offensive tackle they really like Malik was saying, Alt and then Murphy, but bringing in Brown for that right tackle, he's going to be the starter. So I think that takes the pressure off of drafting the right tackle this year and getting someone in a later round that you think you can develop for next year.
The only thing is that Trent Brown plays about on average 500 snaps a year. So you should pretty much expect he's not going to make it through the season. And if he gives you 10 starts at best, like, great, we're happy with that. But I don't think he solves the right tackle question, and I don't think he really alleviates you or stops you from drafting one either. But he could, I guess. Someone asked about Chop Robinson if he could play D tackle. No, he's only 254, so that is not someone that typically would move inside.
That makes more sense than me thinking they were talking about pork chop.
It's a fucking elite name, though, right?
Yeah.
That's his nickname. He's a 14-pound baby.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I was. You know what? We both got to say the number 14 in our birth weight. I was 10 pounds 14 ounces.
There you go.
Pork chop was probably a 14-pound baby.
Joe, do you think now that since we weren't able to retain Reader, that we do more of a inside blitzing defensive line?
We already talked about it. You're late. Get off here.
Hey, Matt, you gotta fucking hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we're coming on live.
I was with the family for dinner. Leave me alone.
You gotta get fucking priorities, Matt.
Hey, I'll tell you what you can do. You can go back and watch the show later on, and then
Sure can.
I thought it was a good question. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Do you think we change our defense, Joe? Go
Yes.
ahead.
I understand if you go and get Newton and then you load the box with the extra safeties you have.
But even with Newton, you're not going to go back to a 3-4 type look because he's not a nose tackle either. So they don't have one on the roster, and I don't think there is one until Tavondre Sweat and then McKinley Jackson, who's probably 3rd, 4th round pick, and then that's it. I mean, you got a bunch of randoms after that and lottery tickets. So I think they're going to play more 4-3 stuff, which you can do that. That's the thing.
yeah.
All right, Derek wanted me to bring up a mock draft. I did 3 rounds, Bengals and Bills. Gonna go ahead and start this thing. We'll see who's on the board.
Oh,
Great.
fuck.
We're not doing trades.
No,
Yeah, because I was going to say, they want to move up one spot and they want to give us everything.
Yeah, right.
All
No,
right,
we
let
will
me-
take Achilles Smith, okay?
Yep.
Kelly Smith.
A seal to read.
This is a best case scenario, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mims, Fatanu,
They're all there.
Latham, Murphy,
You got
What
your
do you
dark
pick
horse.
there?
Newton, Verse.
APJ.
This is when
Take
you
your
get a
pick.
3rd round
This is
pick
a
to move back
definite
3
trade back.
spots,
Yeah.
4 spots.
Murphy here.
Let's do a vote then. Are we doing it? Are we doing what we would do, or are we doing what we think they would do?
We're doing what you would do. This is a Goodberry mock.
Oh, so I'm making the pick.
Yeah,
well, we can all,
and we can all help you. We can sway your decision.
Do you want me to pick based on the Bengals or pick what I would do?
It's GM Goodberry and we're your scouts.
All right. All right, boys. So we've done the work all the last 4 months here, and we're on the clock. We've already done all of the arguing. We know who we're going to take, and it's going to be. That's when you guys.
JC Latham.
Is Chop Robinson's name really Damien?
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I've seen it spelled out. Right. Look at that. Look how it's spelled.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Golly. The talent on the board.
Man.
It's good. It's a good situation. I think if we want to go for upside guys, and we're talking about we want to draft a Pro Bowler and a guy with a profile of a Pro Bowl player, we've got a couple guys to choose from here, and that's Byron Murphy, Amarius Mims, Jackson Powers-Johnson, and Trevon Newton.
Yeah, and you could sell me on any of those guys. Like I'm just like, man, with Jackson Powers-Johnson, I think he's kind of the one that people think that we might not get at this spot. But if you add him to this line right now, Jesus Christ, he probably plays left guard, right? If he comes, Ted Kerr stays in the center.
Yeah, he's
Cordell Volson, they said he played some right tackle in college. So if something happened to Brown, Cordell Volson, maybe he can kick over to the right. Man, that would just be a good offensive line.
Cody Ford, Chop.
Plus, yeah. Oh, I forgot about Cody Ford. Never mind. We're covered.
Yeah, we're good.
But, man, you get him on this line, and plus he's on a rookie contract with Joe Burrow making that connection. I wouldn't be mad at that pick. It would definitely not be my first pick, but I would not.
Yeah, I don't think with this board that Jackson Powers-Johnson, I could make a strong argument for him with what's on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Right. With Latham,
with some good tackles and D tackles.
Murphy, Newton. I mean.
All right, well, let's do this then. Let's talk to our director of analytics, and that's Mr. Dale Altman. Dale Altman, what's your board look like here?
I'm not director of analytics. I'm
you
director of.
Yeah, you are, Dale.
You might forget that Derek is in management now, Dale. So you've been assigned.
Whoa.
Yeah, I still don't know how that.
He's flexing his power. Yeah, he interviewed people.
I mean, I personally, the highest person on my board is Trevon Newton. My personal board. I just like him. I like what he can do. If I put my cap on and said, what might the Bengals do? Because, I mean, I know we said we weren't doing that, but I think all the reports are Murphy, and the upside of him is very intriguing. I think they're going to like Latham. I think they're going to like Mims. It's any of those four, honestly.
Yeah.
That's when I go to Joe Goodberry, my GM, and I say, what do you want to do, Joe?
Right.
So let's mix the two then. Let's say we've got our guys we like, and they're the same guys on here. And then let's mix of what we think the Bengals may do in this situation. Let's go with the theme of the week, which is Byron Murphy then.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
I don't disagree with that pick. And I'll tell you what, man, that motherfucking pick right there gets chopped full chub.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Good job.
All right, we're at pick 28. And,
and there's Johnny Newton
for the night.
There's Newton right there for you, Glenn.
Gone.
Hey, it's all right. Glenn wants a wide receiver.
I'm looking at wide receiver. I got the Dale Altman draft chart up right here.
There you go.
I'm looking at wide receivers in the Dale Altman rankings.
All right, I'll go to wide receivers. Show you who's still on the board on here. I mean, Mitchell is by far the highest wide receiver on my board as well.
He's an X receiver. He can do it all. This is a guy that can replace and be your number one wide receiver within a year, I think. We're talking about a guy with speed, size, hands, route running, total package.
Exactly. And what you're saying, and no joke with the Dale Altman draft sheet here, there are some things I was reading with the ball tracking skills, the reliable hands, the impressive route runner, and RAS of 9.99.
Yeah.
Wow. Mitchell does seemed like somebody that I could definitely see the Bills taking, and sort of plugging into that sort of Davis role.
I think Chop could be in the conversation too.
No doubt. Yep.
Sure.
Chop good and Jerzon. I think this top three, they would be in love.
Right.
It's kind of the same situation we were in.
Yep. It's a good top 30.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn, you're the GM at the end of the day.
Yeah, I sort of like taking Mitchell here.
All right.
So do I. As a Bengals fan, I want you to take that wide receiver because I don't want to fucking look at Johnny Newton in the playoffs.
I also don't want Mitchell to go to the Ravens or anything.
Yeah.
And does this mean we no longer
Or
have
the
to
Chiefs.
look at Stephon Diggs' pants?
No, he's still on the Bills, man. There's going to be plenty of Stephon Diggs' pants.
All right.
All right. So what positions do you want to look at? We got our D line, so we should.
Are we on the clock?
Yeah, back on the clock at 49 for the Bengals. So we got Byron Murphy in the first round. Patrick Paul is standing out. Roger Rosengarten, because we don't care about their rankings. We know ours. He's a second round type player.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably definitely bump him up. I bump him up. Honestly, he's close to Patrick Paul as a prospect and probably a better right tackle prospect. He's played it.
Can you click the all just so we can get a full picture?
Sure can. So
we don't care about linebackers, so great. Let's go down a little bit more.
And it's not going to let me go too much from here. I don't know why it's been cutting off when I'm on here like that.
Oh,
but
that's fine. You go stop right there. So in my mind, it's the conversation is Patrick Paul, Roger Rosengarten. I would take Paul. I think he's got the upside there. He hasn't played right tackle, but we have the luxury of developing him. I think the other option here, and the argument would be, is I think Cooper Beebe is potentially a Pro Bowl interior offensive lineman. Do we have to take tackle, or do we say we've got a guy here that could potentially check all the boxes and be a stud for you on the inside? Do we care what position they play if on the offensive line if it turns out to be the right pick and being a stud?
Don't let good players prevent you from.
I mean, Christian Haynes is in this category as well.
I like TJ Tampa a lot. I don't know how much you've watched him, Joe, but
I haven't got the corners yet.
At corner. Yeah, he's interesting. I mean, Rook, Michael Hall are still available. I know we
just
already
took
got
Byron,
Murphy.
though.
I mean, O-tackle is definitely high on that list. How about Pearsall? Because I think it was Paul Daner that drafted him in his mock today.
I can't take another 24-year-old white slot receiver.
I feel you. I got him as a third-round guy anyway.
We can't do it.
He's got
Devontae Walker in the third, maybe.
What if he's got
exactly.
first in, last out?
He's got all that. I mean, he is. He transferred and he honestly was good, but I don't know.
Sneaky athletic.
Let's try and get someone that makes our offense more dynamic. Let's not have to force a slot pick. I think
I like the thought of taking the guard here, and then Dale. Because I know you've done it. For anybody that doesn't know, Dale's already looking at the 2025 draft. What's the tackle situation look like next year?
I mean, the kid from Texas is really good. I haven't watched all those guys. I have a watch list,
Yeah.
So let me tell you on this. We go Cooper Beebe or Christian Haynes and take the interior guy that's got the upside. And I'm thinking that Blake Fisher or Roger Rosengarten will be there at 80.
Yeah, we're cheating a little bit.
Are we cheating? Or do you look at the board and try and maximize the entire draft rather than just one pick at a time?
I think Rosengarten doesn't make it to our third-round pick. I mean, he will on here. But in real life, I don't think he does.
Well,
but Blake Fisher could. Yeah, exactly. And that's,
Christian
Mahogany's
one nice
of those situations where if he's there, we trade back into the late second and pick him.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So BB, are you feeling BB?
I'm feeling BB.
GM? All right, let's do it. Put him on the board.
Ooh,
Trenches, baby. All
Man, me.
Bills are
Does
back.
He play all the interior line spots.
Get the all.
I mean, we're going to need it. Kappa's only got so much left, too.
He could play center. I think he's a guard, though.
So if they're looking at D-line, you got Nealon, you got Michael Hall, a couple names.
Was there was there a D end? Yeah, Nealon.
I got my defensive end, my Dale Altman defensive end ranking.
I'm higher on Jonah Ellis than most people, but I like him.
Ellis is up here. Adisa Isaac.
If you're looking at secondary, Chris Abrams-Drain is probably the top of my personal board. I like Kyrie Jackson. He's like 6'4".
Yeah, Cam Hart too. He's got some size and run defense.
What's his
what
speed
else?
like?
What else are you guys potentially looking at? Are you good at linebacker? I know
Yeah,
you had some
it should
injuries
be.
there last year, but
It's
Yeah.
edge and D tackle probably.
yeah,
That's
Michael
what-
Hall.
Yeah.
Michael Hall like a 280-pound, 20-year-old pass rush dude. That if he would have stayed another year, he's a first-round pick.
Yeah,
He went
I
off
thought he
at
would
his pro
stay.
day, didn't he?
Michael
He worked
Hall.
out he did one of his agilities at the pro day.
Makes you wonder with the talent Ohio State, racks up every year. If he was thinking that
Michael Hall out of
be
Ohio
limited
State,
on playing time.
290.
Yeah, he ended up weighing in at 290 at the combine. I don't know what
I bet he
weighed
plays
in
at
Ohio
280.
State's.
Yeah, I was gonna say his play weight's gonna be.
Player here, huh, Dale? What do you got there?
I like Michael Hall. I like his first step, and as Joe said, he probably would be much higher rated if he would have went back one more season. But I think overall, Michael Hall has the chance to be an explosive. And you're at pick 60. I mean, I think I've got him overall on my board around 44 or something like that. So
Looks like
to get
there's
him at
some
60
there.
is pretty good value.
Let's plug Michael Hall in there. You guys are the scouts, and I'm the GM, right?
Yep. Oh, speaking of, Dale, did you finally get your hat?
Yeah, I did. It came in yesterday.
Nice.
I will wear it on the show Monday.
We on the clock?
Yeah, the Bills are done. You guys must not have a third rounder, Glenn.
Oh,
This is why we signed Trent Brown, just in case Jatavion Sanders is still there in round 3.
yes,
huh?
you got to take him.
Let's use their tackle because we've got to do it a service. We've got to.
Right.
Yes. And there's Blake Fisher.
Yeah.
Blake Fisher.
I sold you on that dream. It is there.
And now you're taking it away from me. But I
Here's
like
what-
Sanders. He's a second.
Here's what I want to
guy.
do then. Here's what GM Joe wants to do. Who picks 81st? We want the 80th and 81st pick.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
seriously. Find out who's got
No.
81.
Scroll
And
up.
they did that.
Scroll up.
They
Who
did that
picks
with
after us?
when
Yeah.
they got Hubbard. They did that.
Hubbard and Malik Jefferson didn't work, but let's do it. I'm ready to go take Jatavion and Blake Fisher.
Yeah.
Who does pick right after us in this round?
You can probably scroll up. It should say the order.
Yeah.
Well, I instead of doing trades, I was just let's take who we think. Let's take Sanders and let's run the risk that
Move up to 81
God,
from 97.
I
All
think
right,
Dale
who am I
think he
moving
got
up
fired. I think
who am I moving up? Who has 81?
Scroll
I
up.
don't know.
It should tell us. It's because D Carter
yeah,
up there, and then
yeah,
we're
yeah,
up, and then it should say the next team. Seattle. Yep. Go talk to Seattle for me.
All right. I'm going to talk to Seattle.
We're the
what do
new
we give him,
Bengals here.
Joe? What do we offer?
Well, let's go to it first. It should only take like a 5th rounder, I'd say. They're 3rd and 5th.
All right.
Give him
So we want to move
149,
from 97
97. Yep.
to 81.
Give him 149.
Let's see. 149. Not enough.
All right. Throw in the 7th we got for Joe Mixon.
Right.
Well, even the first 7.
Shit, that didn't even move.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. They're
Keep
on us.
that
All right, give him
Keep seven,
214 and give me back 224.
Still not going to do it.
What the
All
hell?
That's with both of them.
right, fine. Pull the 5th, 6th, and 7th back and see what they say on a no. 97. Give me back 80. Yep.
Joe, you making trades?
Hey,
Yeah, I'm trying to go 4th rounder, and we'll see if we can get back a 7th or so. See how far they go. Go see if we can get back a 6th first. All right, see if we'll take that. If they we'll take it.
See if they'll
Yeah,
give us
take the highest 6
179.
if we can. Yep.
this how it works
Yeah,
in the war
it-
room, right? During the draft, for real.
Yeah.
Like on their
Yeah.
computer, they just do this kind of shit.
They've got a chart that they've
Yeah.
got values. They don't have to guess on it. They actually
Whatever.
know what. No. Just take one of the second.
I know
6th
it makes you
rounder off.
it makes you restart it.
Oh, it does. Okay.
It's annoying as hell. Trust me. We had a trade at one point. It's
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
He does not know.
4th rounder.
Bill, you're about as reliable as the Browns fax machine.
Take one of the 6 off. Dale.
It won't let me. I'm clicking it.
You're killing me here.
Clear it. Clear it. It won't let me clear their fucking side of it.
Just exit out and go back in.
He just did.
There you go.
There, this should work.
Oh, now
This
we're trading
should
with Denver.
Clock's running out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
20
we forfeited
seconds.
our fucking
We
pick.
ended up
Right.
getting the 81st pick, but we forfeited it.
Well, we lost 80.
All right,
Yeah,
what
right.
were we doing again? We were
4?
giving up 4, and
we
we
get
were
back
getting
179.
back. Okay.
Oh,
maybe we're not.
All that for
Maybe we're
nothing.
No, stop this. Just take 192 then. Fuck. They don't want a 7th round pick.
This is never going to happen.
We had it before.
Clock's ticking.
God damn it, Dale.
Hey, don't put this on me. It's you getting greedy. One that.
Hey,
other
Dale,
first
get
round
your
pick.
shit together.
God
Shut
damn
the
it.
fuck up, Greg. All right, so I think we can do 3,
And
Typical.
192.
Hey,
and
all
we
right.
can do that.
Great.
All right, let's
All
go.
right,
Get
there we
it.
go.
That's
Hey!
Fuck you, Atlanta. Get out of here.
Good
Get
job.
the hell out of
You
here.
didn't call us when we were struggling in the
all
gym.
right.
Jatavian,
No,
fucking
no.
Chiefs.
We did all this for a reason.
There we go.
All right, we did it.
Boom.
Yeah!
Who
We
did?
did it, boys.
Today.
Today.
Fuck right.
That
All right,
actually
what you
would
guys
be
like
elite right
this?
there.
So
Tweet it
Byron
out.
Murphy, Cooper Beebe, Jatavion Sanders, and Blake Fisher in the first 3 rounds. I feel like you've improved your team tremendously.
That's a lot of man meat right there.
Oh, yeah.
That is a whole lot of
That's
man meat.
fucking full chub.
It's probably the best we've done. It just took a little longer.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's the best I've done. It just took a little longer than normal.
Yeah.
But
Hi-yo!
the problem is now you don't get your punter though.
Well, we only did
many
3
punters
rounds
can we
anyway,
draft?
so we didn't give a we should have
Right.
gave up whatever we wanted to move up because we only
Yeah.
had 3 rounds.
We were the Rams.
Exactly.
Fuck them picks, right?
What do the comments say? Are they down with us or what?
What?
What? Who? What?
Do you guys
Comments.
like it? Do you like it?
Gold.
I mean, you think someone else could? You think
We
when
got
you
mo-
have 10 other people that someone could post comments besides the person who's on the other fucking screen?
I'm trying to. They're overriding
Here
me.
you go.
Fucking fucks.
Jerome's laughing.
Reading the comments right
Russ is stressed out. Chuck likes it.
We got to the
Christoph
very
says
last
he'd be
second.
happy, and then grab Isaiah Davis, Evan Anderson, and Jarius Monroe.
All right, Glenn, recap
we
your
get-
draft, and we'll let GM Goodberry Joe Goodberry give his press conference for the Bengals.
I'd love that draft.
Are we done with the draft?
That's it.
Well,
guys
we
only had
just
2
did
picks.
3 rounds. Yeah,
Perfect.
You guys only had 2 picks.
Right. Got the 2. I'm very happy with what we did here. I believe they're part of the process, and I think they're going to come in and assist with our culture. And,
God, you Zach the fuck out of this.
these are Buffalo Bills. You
Yeah.
know,
That's
who
right.
they were from the start.
They got that mafia mentality.
Yeah, they're really going to come in and really, we're looking for leaders and guys we can trust.
Team
And
captains.
We got 2 of them.
My turn?
All right, GM
Mr.
Joe.
Goodberry.
GM
Yeah, so
Joe
we
would
got-
be a sweet shirt, by the way.
That would
It
be
would.
elite.
Like G.I. Joe,
I'm into it.
but it's GM Joe.
Hey, first star
Do it in
logistics.
a
Hey, you know
G.I.
what?
Joe.
Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of,
I'll
shout
feel
out
Snoopy
to
hero,
Goodberry
GM.
Shop
I see you.
for getting me this sweet shirt so I can show off my tats and my
Mm.
awesome Carhartt hat, my farmer
And your
hat.
whiteness.
I would have one of those shirts, but Joe does not like to
Eric
clothe
wearing-
fat people.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't do like any of that. Like I just do the content.
You have to be under a certain
Yeah.
weight to wear a Goodberry shirt.
So we got 4 guys here we really liked. 4 guys we were excited about to get them in the room and get them on this team. 4 guys we did not expect to be there. We had higher grades on them than where they ended up being drafted. We had Murphy as a top 10 guy on our board. Cooper Beebe,
That's perfect.
if we were in a trade back scenario in the first round, we would have considered Beebe in the first round of the first round there if we would have ended up in it.
That sounds like Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah. Jatavion Sanders, Blake Fisher, 2 guys we targeted in that second round. So we're excited to see them there. And really shocked to see them still there in the third round. Really pushed us to trade up and get both of them and make an aggressive move to get 2 guys we really coveted.
You're doing
that is Zach Taylor to a T.
What if in Zach Taylor's press conference, though, he was like, we saw these 2 guys and we were able to make that trade in fucking Boner City.
But we had Dell Altman trying to fucking call it in, and we almost fucking ran out of time.
Mike Brown might have something to say after that.
We finally realized why they didn't pick the phone back up and get Dale in the office.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. That don't make sense now. I'm blaming the mock draft simulator. Fuck that. That shit should have let me unclick whatever I wanted to at any time. Trying to make a trade. I was sabotaged. Damn. All right, boys. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. You guys got anything else fun we want to talk about before we end this?
You guys want to talk some
Halo? Anything?
Halo, yeah. What thoughts on Halo?
Glenn, are you caught up?
Glenn has watched it.
I haven't watched Halo. I've been catching up on shit. I just watched X-Men 97 today, the first 2 episodes.
Awesome.
That was fun.
I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
Love is Blind. You guys caught up?
Love is Blind.
No.
I probably watched the first Dune the other night.
Nice.
Oh,
Did you really?
Yeah. Finally.
It's not the first Dune, actually. I'm fucking old. There's one that's older than that.
There's a lot. There's a couple more older than that, right?
Yeah.
The most recent one, It was good.
Right.
Everybody knows my wife's in the medical field, so we've been binging that show Royal Pains, and I get to hear about when they do a trach wrong, or when they do put the breather wrong.
She's like, that's not right. They never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Surprised you don't just watch Grey's Anatomy. They fuck a lot of shit up.
Oh, she started watching that the other night too, and I'm like, all right, here we go.
Derek, does she give you a dickotomy?
Get that dick out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or was
you
it
got one in, Glenn.
Yeah.
You got one in. All right, boys.
Anyway.
I appreciate your time. We'll have to do this again. You guys are awesome. Plug your stuff. Joe, it'll take 50 minutes. Glenn, you plug yours first.
Do I talk long?
Yeah.
No,
You just got a lot of shit going. What? That's my question, Joe. How many minutes a day do you sleep?
35.
I sleep it. I manage my time very well.
Man, I just don't. I mean, between having a full-time job and what you do for Bengals social media with First Star, and then everything you do on Twitter, I just don't see. I know you're lacking sleep.
Keep going. I'm almost there. Keep going.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. I'm worried about you.
All right, Glenn, what do you got?
I'm just here.
He'll be on Bengals and Brews again in a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
got merch, baby. He's got merch.
Yes.
Making my Bengals and Brews tour here, and you'll probably catch me on here again in a couple of months post draft. And whatever Joe's doing, I might come. And then literally and figuratively, and then
yeah, that's brotherly love right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Family, can't keep it in your pants.
I'm just if there's any Bills fans watching this, you know where to find me. And then Bengals fans, I've got a lot of mutual Twitter Bengals fans and followers, and I'm not. I was, Anyways.
That tequila's kicking in already.
You skipped the frame and then went back to the middle of the table. Like, anyways.
All right, Joe. Tell them where to find you. I think they all know.
Yeah, you know where to find me.
If there's any Bengals fans watching here, I'm doing my Glenn impression now.
Yeah, if you
Bengals on the brain at Joe Goodberry. You guys know where it's at.
can find me in Joe's comment section talking shit and posting food pics and you're not buying Buffalo and the Brain hats, but that's okay. I don't, that's not all I'm about here. Who just cracked one?
Me,
Dale.
of course.
Anyways,
I'm drinking bourbon tonight, boys.
It's Friday
We
night.
know. We know.
Got a little Buffalo
find me
Trace action.
on Goodberry on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
find at Joe Goodberry on Twitter and
Thanks,
everywhere
Dale.
else. Bengals on the
You're
brain,
actually over here.
Buffalo on the brain. Derek's a cracker. Yeah, let's not
Shout
start
out.
doing stuff with the screen. That got us in
This-
trouble that one time.
No,
It's like Brady Bunch stuff.
that was my
Shout out
favorite.
all.
Oh,
Hollywood Squares.
get that nipple, Glenn. There you go.
Greg, talk about our sponsors.
You are. Shout out to our
What?
awesome sponsors, Midwest Best Barbecue and 50 West Beer. Proud sponsors to the show. We love you all so much.
That
Pork
we did.
chop, say something smart. Say
Get 'em,
something
buddy.
smart.
Woo!
Pork
The
chop,
beer.
say something smart. Pork
Uh,
chop.